And then, hold on. Everybody is.
Twistle.
All right, Yahtzee, we're live.
All right. Excellent.
Welcome back to Archetype Aperture. I'm Jim, and with me this evening I have a very esteemed guest and someone who apparently I don't know how to spell a name, but he did notice that I have a very distinct OCD about these things because I kept deleting and re-adding and doing it wrong again every single time. But with me tonight is Mr. Elliott Warner, not Werner. What's up, man?
I appreciate you bringing him out here. Listen, your attention to detail, like your knack for perfection, I appreciate it. You know, so
for sure. Yeah, I don't normally screw things like that up, but when I do it royally.
No.
I mean,
you know what the thing is? You're not the first person who has either forgot a character or missed a thing and stuff like that. And when I was younger, I used to be really anal about it. Like, no, it's 2 L's, 2 T's. Now I'm just like, listen, I'm just happy y'all just remembered it.
Yeah, I'm just happy y'all are talking to me, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to get real in character for the full gym experience, though.
Oh.
So I wanted to make
you're
sure.
gonna bust out your big, thick glasses, too?
There we go.
You got your Buddy Holly glasses?
Am I 100% in character now?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha,
We are both
gotcha.
Clark Kent.
Okay. Actually, these are kind of dirty. Maybe I take this back off, but I just want to be ready for it.
That's hilarious.
Gotcha.
Well, real quick, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody this is a podcast I started this podcast for beginners and intermediate photographers and videographers and podcasters, people that are interested in content creation of any kind. Not to say that I'm an expert in the field or any field, but when I learn something and I go after it. I'm a teetotaler. I learn it to the umpteenth degree. And then once I do that, I want to make sure that I help everybody and teach them what I've learned. Mm-hmm. The reason I wanted to start doing these lives is because I think it's a fantastic way for beginning photographers, intermediate people that are just getting started in the field, and to hear from people that have been in the working field for a while. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into all of that, as far as like what kind of the little outline I've got here.
Understood.
But that's just a little about this podcast for the listeners, the people that are joining in the live, as they join in.
Gotcha.
So, Mr. Elliott Warner.
How you doing?
Tell me about yourself, man. Are you from Jacksonville?
No, that's the thing. I've been here long enough that I might as well start saying I'm from Jacksonville.
You're a local.
Yeah, but no, I'm originally from Philadelphia.
Okay.
I've been here. First time was in '96, and then with my parents and stuff like that, where their work moved around and stuff like that, and then eventually came back. But that's the thing, like saying, oh yeah, you're from Jacksonville to sell to somebody, they don't like, where's that at? They think of Miami or Orlando. So I still to this day say, even though I've been here, 14 years, I still say, no, I'm from Philadelphia. That's where I'm from, home.
Well, that's where you were born and raised.
Right. Actually, I was born in Chicago.
And the playground is where you spent the most of your days.
Right. No, that's funny thing. I was actually born in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
But when I tell you, me and my brother literally were just born there, and then again, my dad's work and stuff like that. Born there. All right, cool. In and out. Back to Philadelphia, and then here in Jacksonville and stuff like that, and developmental years and all that stuff around here.
There's going to be dogs barking in the background. I apologize to everyone it's in the live and is listening to the replay and the podcast audio.
If I say who let the dogs out, are there people?
No, you go right ahead.
Are people old enough to know that joke, or is it everybody? You're
Possibly
listening?
not.
Okay.
Possibly not. I mean, who knows? I mean, I never know who's going to join, who's going to listen. You know, that's the fun part of having a podcast is the unknown.
I've made some references at networking events, and I'm just like, oh right. I'm that old guy now.
Yeah. I've done the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or they'll say something, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
You know, but we're not old, man. We're aged like fine cheese. Is it wine?
I think it's wine.
Is it cheese?
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
You know, well, it depends on the kind of cheese, because like some cheeses get better and then you cook it or whatever. The other ones, like, was that Limburger? No.
Yeah, that one's not good. I think they said that one tastes better than it smells. Kind of like a durian fruit.
Right. You know, I'm not a fan of that one.
No, for sure. I wrote this question down, and I don't like the question, but I put it in there anyways.
Okay.
And I want to kill those dogs. I don't really. I love my dogs, but man, what's in the bag?
What's in my bag?
Yeah.
Camera bag?
Yeah.
Let's see. As of right now,
not your pants or anything like that.
Right. Well, that's
what are you shooting
when the podcast is over, right? Right now, my workhorse is my Canon EOS R.
Okay.
I had gas, which some people know, and the thing is like gear acquisition syndrome, where I was just buying everything. I have used, and I still own the R8, EOS R, not the Mark II, the M50. That's the OSR and the M50 are in my bag right now. Have an R6, have an R8, the M6 Mark II, have that still. I was in the point where I was just buying a lot of stuff, thinking that was going to change my photography and realize stuff like that. And then I realized, like, okay, no, let me just get good with what I have. And I just still, even with the R6, I still just like the feeling of my R.
Right.
That shutter, that feels like that magazine kind of will click to it and stuff like that.
Yeah, like an old school camera.
Right. You know, all the other ones are just too soft and sounding like, you know, sophisticated. And for me, who's doing mostly a studio work and everything like that, I don't need anything. Now, if I need to do a video or something for, you know, high profile client, then yeah, sure, dust off the R6, get out there. I got my father has an R5 that I can borrow from him if I need to. Yeah. But otherwise, I just stick with what I got.
Well, the reason I asked that is not, you know, I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that.
No.
Did you put them outside, Patty? Yeah. Thank you. Dear Lord.
Gotcha.
They can bark all they want to out there. It's not so much to like put you on the spot or say, you know, your stuff isn't as good or whatever it is. Yeah. I wanted to bring it up because it's a really important point that I brought up with Josie last time, and we talked about it, was that it doesn't matter what you shoot with.
Yeah.
I honestly hate it when people do YouTube videos. What's in my bag?
Right,
you know,
right,
it's almost like they just want to show off.
Sure. But that, you know, like, that's the thing. As a tech nerd myself, I like seeing the gear. Like, ooh, okay, he got this and he got this lens. Oh, how much that cost? And I you know, so I am the reason why they get views on that what's in their bag stuff.
I can't say I never watched them.
Oh, for a while I was watching them religiously because, again, I was like, okay, I have a budget. I'm trying to be the best. What is the top guys and stuff like that are using? Right. And then some guy told me, it's like, listen, there is still a fashion photographer, an editorial photographer, who is still doing major publications, probably with a 5D Mark II.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
as long, as we were mentioning earlier, the skill of the photographer is matters more than anything else.
Yeah.
All those, they didn't have these new Sony cameras and these new Canon cameras, or actually I'm not going to mention Nikons, whatever.
Well, sounds like somebody's a little.
Well, they didn't have those when they were showing like these great sports memories like we see like with Michael Jordan and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they figured out how to get those moments without these features. So yeah, it's
and cameras, just like I will say that as time progresses, you kind of have to keep up with the times. I mean, we don't still ride in horse and buggy anymore.
Right.
So I mean, we're all driving cars and now electric cars and
Gotcha.
all those good things. But
there is the feeling of getting a new camera and then testing its limits. Like I love when something new happens. Like I think when Threads debuted it, the first thing I did was, and I'm putting it live and stuff like that. Okay, it works great on my Apple tablet, works great on my high-end Samsung tablet, whatever. Not so much I was testing, like seeing the limits and stuff like that. So when I get a new camera, is why I was buying a bunch.
Right.
I was like, okay, this makes autofocus just a twinge bit better.
Right.
But now that I have it, am I going to replace what I've been working with for the longest time with it? Is it $700, $1,000, $2,400 more convenient? And once I start asking those questions outside the allure of something that's brand new and the new leather and that matte metal smell, that's when I'm like, okay, master what you have first, and then go on from there.
For sure, man. I'm going to just apologize to Elliott and to everyone for listening about the dogs again. I can still hear them.
No, it's got you.
But at any rate, yeah, you're right, man. It doesn't really matter what you're shooting with. And it is cool. I am kind of a gear nerd too. Obviously, I like to try new things. I mean, all this stuff. I honestly never would have live streamed. I was on a podcast with an old friend of mine, and he just kept pushing me to do more.
Right.
He's one of those people that didn't understand all of the ins and outs of how everything works. He just make it happen.
Right.
And you go, okay, so you have to do research at that point. And I did, and I came to this, and I love it. I love getting on the live. When there's not like interferences.
Well, it looks like they decide to take a break. So
maybe they got out of the fence. I don't really know. I'll find them later. It's not a big deal.
Good.
But so yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch that and see where your head was at. And not that I needed to know what camera gear you have, man.
Listen, the reason why
you
we
take
came,
great photos, my dude.
The reason why we came boys because when you came, I saw you and I was like, "Is that a Canon?" Yes.
Isn't it weird that Canon shooters kind of grab you? I mean, if you're a Nikon shooter, you gravitate towards Nikon, Sony, Canon,
but
Pentax.
I don't know what it's about the area that we are working in.
Yeah.
Where everybody's. I don't want to compare. Is a Canon becoming the new Apple in a sense like
they're dominating the market right now.
Right. And they're not cheap anymore. Well, they never were cheap, but they're, but it's also like everybody's also, it's like the Sony photographers that we run into, they stick together.
Oh, sure.
They shout over us and everything and stuff like that. So when I saw you, I was like, is that a Canon strip? All right. He's I don't know this guy from Adam, but at least he has 10% of a good personality. Good
traits. It's a good start. And I fly my flag. I got my old school Canon lanyard hanging off my keys, so everybody knows. I mean, it's not that I'm like, and I'm not like biased about cameras. I'll try any camera. If Nikon wants to send me a camera, I'll shoot it. Gotcha. I'll try it out in a real life situation.
Well, you can always get a Nikon. Just go to Publix and get a potato.
We have sound effects, but probably better if we don't start playing with those.
No. See. And again, that's where again the tech nerd in me, the brand loyalty and stuff, like, which is fun because I've told myself so many times, if you're in tech, brand loyalty will rob you of some experiences. Like if you're just, I'm only going to watch from an LG TV or an Apple phone or something like that. But when it comes to the camera part, like I'm loyal to you know, my little canvas and stuff like that.
Hey, man, I don't have a problem with it. You know, like I said, it's just what I'm comfortable with.
Right.
When I started getting back into digital, because and I don't know if you listened to, I'm sure you have. You said you did your homework.
I did my homework.
I started out on a Pentax K1000,
Okay.
a film camera, back when I was 17, 18, you know, and I've developed my own film and exposed the prints myself. I did all of that. I couldn't do it now to save my life.
Were you like getting Candace of Eisenhower and all that kind of stuff back then too?
So that thing I said last time about curse words happening, if they happen, they happen. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. But I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
No,
that was a low blow, but I appreciate it, man. It's all good. No, I didn't get any old. I'm not that old. But I took some time off, and when I came back to it, it was digital everything, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to relearn, and because it's different. You know, ISO was your film speed.
Right.
You know, if you buy the film at 800 or 400 or whatever, that was your ISO.
Yeah.
And now you can change it, and it's crazy. And the LCD screen, there's so many innovations.
Were you part of that dialogue where I remember there was a time where people were saying that digital photography isn't real photography?
I mean, I've been through it. I've heard people say that. And now it's completely flipped on its end. And there's so much so that there's people, and I say it all the time. You know, we talked, Josie and I talked about it last week.
The film guys.
Yeah, if you're going to shoot film, do it as a passion project, as a hobby, and that's fine. But don't go taking a film camera to a wedding. I don't care how good it is.
So what do you feel about now that that's on end where people is like, and I myself is almost in that field where it's like mobile photography, phone photography isn't, I wouldn't say not real photography because you can do some great things with your phone,
man.
But it's also like, is it encroaching on stuff that we use with our DSLRs?
Well, now that the interview has switched to me, I will say.
No, it's fine to ask you a question.
No, it's cool, man.
I got another one for you, too.
Keep it coming, man. It's good. We'll just keep bouncing them back and forth.
Gotcha.
I'm just playing around. I think it's light years away.
Okay.
I think that the phones, as far as making great content, I think they can do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
You can make cool videos. You can make. I mean, the last video I shot about, I think it was about ChatGPT. I shot it on my iPhone.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I was trying a different setup, which in turn gave me more content. So now I've got another video to make. But yeah, you can do a lot of things with a phone camera these days, and they are coming up. I mean, they've all got Leica glass, and the processor's getting better. But like I said last week, is that the algorithms that they bake into these phones is all based on the same principle as a DSLR or a digital camera, a mirrorless camera, rather, and it's far off. It's far off. The processing, power is not the same.
Yeah, I've always looked at it as like they're getting better with replicating, supplementing but you can't beat physics. There's only so big of a sensor you can put in there.
Right.
I can't imagine an iPhone with a 35 millimeter lens on there or vice versa or something like that to replicate that. So we're running into the limitations of what physics and light and screen size and glass can do, but they're coming close, so
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. It's close, and it's to the untrained eye, it's almost unnoticeable.
Right.
I mean, a JPEG is a JPEG is a JPEG, but they've got the cinematic mode now. You can. What's kind of neat is one of the things I've talked about in the past. I think when I was talking to Russell is it's kind of cool that they're teaching. It's almost like they're teaching people about Aperture. Because you can change your f-stop.
Yeah.
On an iPhone, anyways. I don't know about droids. I haven't used a droid yet. Lately.
Yeah, they got that too and stuff like that.
They do. Okay, so you could change your aperture, which is fantastic, and it kind of gets people. The barrier to entry for a photographer is very small now.
The cool thing about one of the Samsung ones is that it'll break up to which is your lens, and it'll show you the f-stock on them. but you can use like your you can use your main lens to focus on the subject, but your telephoto lens to create like the background around the person, and then create that artificial like pulling the subject away from it. And so like I said, technology is it's coming together.
Yeah.
But again, light is only going to fit into a sense so much and stuff like that. It can only do so much. And I'm sorry, like the 1/4 inch, or if it's even a 1/4 inch sensor,
about that size.
the pinky size, it's not going to match the 3.5 inch or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
and they're now not only that, but now they're stacking the sensors.
yeah. So
I mean, double stack, triple stack. I mean, whatever. I mean,
the
like
low light that you can get in these things,
Yeah.
like pitch black. I can still see it.
Yeah, well, the R5 has a little bit more. It's a little harder time seeing in low light.
Gotcha.
It's because of the megapixels. You know, it's like 40 megapixels. Takes a super crisp photo, but I honestly, I've had very little issues in low light.
Okay.
Basically, when I have low light, I kind of have to like. Sometimes I'll have to just edit it in black and white.
Yeah,
because
gotcha.
that'll cover up a lot of
Cover
stuff.
everything and stuff like that.
I mean, you do get a little grain, you get a little noise
Call it
in the
artistic.
photo, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Call it a film camera style.
Right.
you know?
Right. There we go. Good.
But talking about style, man, like what is your style and how did you come about it?
So, it took very recently to finally get into the style that I want, and I like that editorial magazine beauty style shot.
Okay.
Blooms and lights and stuff like that everywhere, and retouches and all that. And I like that because I think that matches my personality to lean towards eccentricism. You know, I want my models, you know, to be doing poses and the kind, like if you turn the pages, whether digital or print magazine, that you would say you would associate them with runway style. And but that's what's most doing in the studio. I want to gravitate towards doing fashion style shoots that are also telling stories.
Okay.
Like I was sending mood boards to, again, we were talking about Josie and stuff like that. The keywords is just called like swag Barbie. Just knowing that and then figuring out the story of where that comes from.
Right.
Trying to find narrative motifs in just short words that are conveyed in the shoot and conveyed in the attire of the model and stuff like that.
Right.
I want to create that as a style where I'm not telling the people what to think or what to say. They just see the headline and they figure the rest out. And I like doing shoots where the people's expressions, or at least directing their expression, you're figuring out their thoughts, but you don't know what they are particularly.
Right.
And I think when somebody is playing with that idea, they personify it a little bit more. It's kind of like if you saw, best way I forget how to describe it is, if you saw a foreign movie poster and you can't read the logo, you can't read but you can see the characters on it.
Okay.
And you're kind of figuring, is this an action movie? Is this a romance? I'm kind of putting that story together already myself. Whether you see the movie or not, but you've already kind of figured whether you want to watch it.
Yeah, you kind of know.
Right. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
You know, telling
I
images.
like that.
Yeah.
Like a story in one frame, or like you want to do like a set of like a photo story, like.
If I can get everything that I want to say in one frame, that's obviously the goal.
Oh, that would be cool.
But no, there's going to be different bits and pieces. Part 1, part 2.
Sure.
You thought it was going to be this, but now it's this. You know.
Right.
That Vogue, I call it that fake Vogue model shoot where everybody's wearing the blazers and the bodysuits and stuff like that. You know, there was a story of like business eccentricism that I was trying to convey through that and everything, with people, the way people were looking at each other, and eventually it came out to with the way people were messaging me, like, this looks like a cover for a Netflix series of like a mob family or a powerful like artist family, and it's like, you know what, that was in my head.
It was kind of there,
but you know what? But stuff like that it revitalizes why I do what I do. Like,
right.
It may be different for what I wanted, but what the feedback they give me is like, you know what? No, I definitely do like this. I like that you're following along. You know?
Yeah, I like that, man. I look forward to seeing that from you, especially this. What did you call it? Barbie.
Swag Barbie.
Swag Barbie.
Yeah. No. Oh,
Yeah.
listen, there's
When is
enough.
it? Are you going to make this happen?
Oh, it's already in the works.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Is this what Josie was posting about?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
no.
She was trying to find a blonde character.
No.
If you know any handsome blonde people, send them to Josie.
Which I'm going to give a shout out to Josie real quick in the sense that I can message her something, like, because she's been my greatest assistant with some of these. And I can message her something, and she'll compliment the mood board that I'm already doing. Like, whenever I go on shoots and stuff like that, I know my poses, but again, going to a model and saying, hey, could you put your shoulders like this and that, whatever, and maybe my words don't get to her, she's like, no,
Right
I got
on it.
Yeah, I can figure this out. Don't worry, say less. And that's one key words. She just say less. She already knows exactly what's going on. If I have a particular, like, I'll be on my Instagram and I'll see their mutuals like, this person will be good for the concert I'm going. She's like, don't even worry about it. Like, okay, I'll come to the studio. They're already on their way. So she gets things done.
Yeah,
and I'm
finding this out.
sincerely appreciate that about her.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you did the shout out. If it wasn't you, it would have been me.
Okay.
Yeah, I really had a great time talking to her last week, and I look forward to many more. And but yeah, she's definitely somebody that's on the ball.
Yeah.
And she's going places, man.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
hang
yeah.
with
I'm
she had to
just-
explain to me mood board because I'd
Okay.
never heard that term.
Gotcha.
It's a great concept. I like it. I don't know if I would.
Be great. Do
I don't know if I would have the time and energy and effort to put into it. I like to, I think it, and I'll tell a model, if if we're going to a specific location or whatever, I will say, this is kind of the outfit I want you to wear.
Right.
Give me 3 options that are in that wheelhouse, and then they'll lay them out on the bed and take pictures of their outfits, and I'll pick one and say, let's go.
It's made it easier for me, especially because I'll send it out almost weeks before the shoot. That gives them time to really personify. Because again, I want to be telling characters and stories through my shoots and stuff like that. So it gives them
Right.
time to really dive into. Plus, people will think I like this outfit, and like, no, I want to change it and stuff like that. Listen, you got plenty of time to figure that out. If I need to go buy it for you and stuff like that, good. Get my funds set up and ready for it. And so it just helps.
Stop buying stuff for chicks. Dude. I'm just saying.
right.
Just saying.
No. It just helps them muse around it for them. I think the longer that idea marinates and stuff like that, the more I'm able to articulate my vision a bit. So
It makes sense.
yeah.
It definitely makes sense.
Plus, you can do fun of it. You just get the cork board and do it like a high style. You put the
Never done
arrows and stuff like that. No, it'd be fun.
I've never done that. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not opposed to it.
Gotcha,
So I mean, it would definitely. I mean, it's definitely something that I think that any of my listeners would. I would hope that they would pick up on that and utilize that piece of information. And that again is one of those things that having people like yourself and Josie in here, and hopefully Nate and not possibly, Russell will be back on the show eventually, real soon.
You got some great stuff going on.
What's that?
Russell has some great
Oh,
stuff
dude.
going on.
Yeah, he's.
I gotta get to him, get to his level.
For sure. Well, and he, go back and watch his stuff. He'll tell you he'll tell you everything. He laid it all out for me. But I mean, he's worked very hard. And that's the thing about being a photographer is it's not something that just you get a camera and now you're in there.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes a lot of work. You got to get out there and continually grind. You have to invest in yourself. I know that one of the things he did was I'm gonna forget the guy's name that he went, but he flew out to California for a what do you call it? Like a workshop.
Yeah.
With someone. I can't remember right off the top of my head right now, but it'll come to me when I'm laying my head down to sleep tonight.
Right.
But yeah, he did that, and I mean, like I said, you have to do those types of things to invest into yourself, and it's like for us, that something like that is like going to college. You get the backing of that person. They know that now you know this thing now, and you're now armed with a new set of skills that you didn't have before. And I think that's great. And it's always best to get that FaceTime and that one-on-one time with those people.
Yeah,
I've not done that. The people that I would probably do that through probably cost me an arm and a leg,
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's definitely he's in there, man. I mean, he's getting himself out there. That's the thing. You just got to get yourself out there.
No, you really do. There is a lot of people with cameras and stuff like that that are out there and everything like that. But think some of the benefits of helping just networking with other photographers, other creators,
Yes.
Has helped a lot. And don't just network just to get views and likes and follows and stuff like that, but collaborate with them, invest in them and stuff like that. I've one of my friends told me you got a sorority girl your friends every once in a while, because listen, those when they post their thing on their Instagram, whatever, you look at the bottom of the page, hundreds of comments, fire emojis and stuff like that. And that's the way I try to get with my friends. So like that, listen, I'm gonna like your stuff, I'm gonna share your stuff, because they're doing the same for me.
For sure. And I mean, that's part of networking. Something that I've kind of learned through doing these podcasts. I mean, I've been doing this for roughly 4 years. Various other podcasts and things like that, but kind of leveraging the people, whether it's someone that you work with. I mean, that's why, TFP for Trade for Pics is such a great thing for new photographers, for new models. It's a great thing. It's a way to get your photos on both ends. And not only that, but maybe the model has more of a following than you do.
Right.
But when you post her pictures and you tag her in it and she does the same on hers, they're going to go and they're going to intermingle. You'll pick up some of those people.
Yeah.
And not that I'm real concerned about having followers. How do you feel about something like that? Like,
okay, I love attention.
Okay.
So
okay.
no.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. And I am unashamed about that. So I the more followers, likes and stuff like that, the better. But that's vanity metrics.
Right.
It depends on what your goal is with followers. If you just want a count, that is easy to get. If you want people who are excited about your content,
Right.
you have to engage with your audience, and you have to put stuff that's, again, exciting, new, relevant stuff like that to put out there. And if you're saying I want to monetize my business or something like that, then if you can't, the vast majority of your followers can't be, people with, I'm gonna say teenagers with barely any allowances and stuff like that. You gotta curate your photography for branding shoots or something like that. You have to know your audience. So just having followers and stuff just having followers and stuff like that up on your page, so you can just point at your number and stuff like that. I know people with 11K followers, but then you look how many people like their stuff, and it's you only look at 35,
maybe three
and stuff like that. And the algorithm's gonna say, okay, your stuff is trash, and then push it down to the bottom.
And they keep buying followers and likes.
Right.
And
yeah.
I don't have the time for that. I don't care if I ever. I try to look at my followers on Instagram. That's why I kind of like Facebook a little better, because it's friends on Facebook.
Right.
Instagram, it's followers. I don't want don't follow me. Just be my friend. You know what I mean? So I look at it that way. Like, how many friends do I have? And then I'll go back through once a month and I'll go, how many of these friends do I know? I'll start just whacking people. And I don't care about followers. I do, especially with this podcast.
Yeah.
I want the ability to let other people that might not otherwise hear this podcast, I want as many people to hear it as possible. That way that if I even help one person in this entire endeavor, out of 4 years, if I have only ever helped one person, it makes me happy. It's all worth it. But, that would be the only reason I want people to subscribe to my YouTube or my Instagram or my Threads page.
Right. No, there's I don't encourage people to ignore in some big motivational thing like ignore your followers and stuff like that, because that none of that matters. Listen, if you're trying to get your content out there, trying to get exposure, you need people to see it, you need eyes, stuff like that. But just make sure it's authentic. Don't buy your stuff because then that's not helping you out there, and you're just you're faking it.
Yeah.
But
like you said, vanity
metrics. Yeah. But also don't treat the particularly don't treat the people who are also following your stuff as fans.
Right.
And I feel like I need to specify this. It's okay to have people who like your stuff and build that, social community and stuff like that. But I've run into a lot of folks at some events where they're just going there just to grab everybody's social, collect fans, collect followers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. And I think that cheapens the whole point of having those kind of events, and it just makes you look all that more inauthentic.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that is for
And
sure.
I've called those people out. So like I said, I don't miss.
No, I won't call them out, but I guess it's the Capricorn in me that
Gotcha.
I will just look at it and I'll say, you know what? I'm gonna go over here and never go back over there.
I don't know.
I just cut ties with people.
Are Leos prone to violence? Or not
yeah.
say violence,
Yes.
confrontation?
No,
okay.
that was, you're right. The first time.
Okay.
Violence.
Well, yeah, then I choose violence every time. I'm down with that. No, I don't mind. And I'm not saying I'm looking for controversy and stuff like that. I'm just not shy of once speaking my truth, and then think everybody has some intrinsic moral compass, and then some people choose to ignore it.
Yeah.
And then I just don't.
No, you ride out on it. And I will say, yeah, I mean, I saw the Leo coming out in the last collab event.
Yeah.
They had you running the stage, and you were all the photo time, and you had the clipboard, and I was like, all right, maybe he'll have a better time at this. And you kept everybody like a drill sergeant. You kept everybody in line. And
I had the
liked
Infinity Gauntlet there, man.
Infinity Gauntlet.
I had
like
all
it.
the power.
Yeah, I like that.
It was a great time though. Shout out to Collab Cafe. They got the most happening thing going on. Oh right, yeah. So word from our sponsor, which is not officially our sponsor, in case any legal teams come in there.
Thank you. Yes.
But Collab, check them out. They got the newest event coming up on
Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Is it Saturday or Thursday? Oh,
It's a pop-up.
The pop-up. No. Oh, yeah. Well, they got the other networking event on the 29th.
29th.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
that's okay. We
may have to verify that date.
No, the 29th. I think this Saturday is the pop-up thing, and then the 29th is, I can't remember what they called it, but yeah, it's an event on Saturday at 6. And I won't be able to be there, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. I mean, I'm going to photograph for a band that I'm friends with.
Gotcha.
They're doing their album release party, so it should be fun.
You need a second shooter?
Huh?
You need a second shooter?
I mean, if you want to come on. The more the merrier.
Right.
The more, that way I can shoot video.
Yeah. I'll be your behind-the-scenes shooter, which...
I don't like... You don't have to do that. Don't shoot me.
No. What are you talking about? You're photogenic. Listen, we're going to speak it. We're going to pivot.
Okay, let's do it.
Remember, I did my homework.
Yeah.
When is long-haired Jim coming back? Rockstar Jim.
You know what's hilarious? I showed Josie a picture that I took in here. I was talking to her about my style.
Right.
How I kind of like the more moody, kind of like gritty look. And I showed her a picture that, you probably saw it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Long hair, glasses, and like looking like a damn, whatever. I'm not a big guy, but you can make yourself look big.
You're right in that between like biker and youth pastor kind of vibe. Like the cool one though, right?
Oh, okay. Thanks for specifying cool one.
Right. The one that's like, listen, I don't. You should not smoke. We can pray about it and stuff like that. But if you're going to do it, you just be here, okay?
Yeah, do it with me.
yeah. Right.
Yeah, no. And she was like, "Oh, that's nice." And who's that? And I was like, "Bro, that's me."
right.
It was literally like I don't even. It's only been like what, 2 months?
Yeah, probably about 2 months now.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
2.5.
you look great
yeah.
now, but I'm just saying, that looked like a whole different. I mean,
it was a lot to take care of.
God. Tell me about it.
I mean, I know you got the long hair going.
Dude, I've had so many moments. Literally, I told myself
I
last
saw
week,
you post like the long hair's got to go.
It's hot, man.
It is hot.
Florida is the sun is playing too much.
Yeah, it's hot in these rhinos.
Right. It's taking its homework way too seriously.
It is. It's doing too much. It's doing the most.
Yeah.
No, man. I got tired of like. This is gonna sound really gross. I got tired of washing it and conditioning it.
I feel you on that. The thing for me right now is that this look is being held up by stress and bobby pins right now. If I shake my head too much, everything starts flying away and stuff like that.
You should just let it rock out. Just let it go.
When I first got it, I was going for the Killmonger look. For those who can't see via the video part of the podcast, of Black Panther, Killmonger and stuff. Then it's gone a whole wave of its own and stuff like that. But no, thing is, what I'm trying to get, because especially when I'm out there shooting, I'm doing this all the time.
Yeah, it's in the way.
Doing the wide stuff like that. So
yeah, well, talking about style, I mean, or the look that you were going for. The look that I was going for was retro homeless. That was kind of and for the most part, I pulled it off.
Okay, gotcha.
I would if I had, and my beard was like super thick and long, and it just like I don't know. I mean, I felt more like me when I had the long hair, but it was too hot.
I understand.
It was too much, and so I got to, and I just, it's hair. It'll grow back.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I'll be at that point like, is it? Like
it is. It really is.
Okay.
It will grow back.
All right.
You know, for sure.
My barber scared me. He's like, yeah, you thin it out a little bit. I was like, what do you mean by a little bit?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, what do you mean by a little bit?
Out.
What do you mean by a little bit? But he's like, but then he kind of exaggerated. But it's
so are you banking hair? Is that what we're doing? We're saving hair for later?
I mean, technically, I could cut it off and then reattach it, but no, I'm not. I'm not there yet. I'm not.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we both know we've been on enough shoots. I don't know what type of photography do you lean into? What niche do you lean into? Where your paid work.
Paid work is I've been mostly doing the family stuff, graduations, family photos, the stuff that I post on my Instagram, stuff that I actually like, branding shoots.
Mm-hmm.
My kickoff, shout out to Miguel Camargo, was going to his real estate and entrepreneur networking events, and I would post up, and I would say I'm gonna do everybody's headshots for free.
Oh, nice.
And I actually got an idea from another guy, Andy Varnez, if you heard of him.
I have not.
He's a great guy, Varnez Media and stuff like that. Again, I'm sorry if I'm
doing
shout him out,
shout him
out, stuff like that. But I went to these networking events and I said, listen, all these shots are free. I borrowed my little backdrop and my 2 little stationary lights, and all I asked was just for if you like what you got, get a tip. And so I had my tablet on. Give me a tip rather. I had my tablet on the side. So they could see what their shoots look like as they're coming in. And people liked it. And I had my QR code. And then folks were just $5, $3, $10. One woman gave me $40. I remember leaving that first event, worked 2.5 hours at a networking event that I just popped up for, made $220 doing that.
Nice.
Then
That's a good day.
It was a great day, right? And that's the thing is, the lights were there. I didn't do most of the editing I did auto and the whatever.
Yeah.
It just changed the exposure a little bit because some people like the shadows only work with them so much. So I did that, and then because of that, people, once other entrepreneurs, other real estate agents, they see what you're doing then they start getting you clients. Remax Relations gave me a great opportunity to again do headshots and promotional materials and stuff like that for them, which helped me get out there. And then what started getting me into more of the studio and portrait photography we're doing lately is that I was literally bored. I was kind of broke. Not broken, like just not the expended money that I wanted to. So I went to a Jack Social Group event, and I had a lanyard with my Cash App QR code, and I just did random street portraits and photography down the Jack's Beach bars.
How well was that received?
They loved it.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, these are so great. And here's the thing, I'm kind of starting out this, and I'm looking at my cameras like, oh no, these suck. Like I can see the grain in the photos and everything like that. I can see the light. Somebody's like their chin is missing because of the way the shadow. They loved it.
Wow.
And so again, they're buying me my drinks at the bar. I'm going around. I'm kind of like doing day in the life stuff like that. So for a good 3 months, if there was an event in Jacksonville, I was at Silent Discos. I'm doing shoots there.
Oh, nice.
Jack's Beach, walking down beach bars, stuff like that, events, restaurants, stuff like that. Outside of Bricks, people just coming out there and stuff like that. People just throwing up signs and whatever. Yo, here's a photo. Showing on my phone. Do you like it? Great. I'll email it to you. And then they may not tip me right then. 2 days later, 3 days later, $5, $10,
oh,
$20,
nice.
just trickling in. Okay, great. There's a quarter tank of gas or something like that. Residuals,
yeah.
right? And I kind of got a kick off of that, and that's how I kind of got my notoriety or something like that. Just being the guy who would just show up at these random public events and stuff like that. Like, yo, here's some free photos. Here's some stuff. Like I said, the photos when I'm doing them, they're free. If you like them, I'm just doing it for practice for myself. But the amount of support that I got from doing stuff like that, it was phenomenal. And I'll be out there. I'll be out there Saturday again too.
Nice.
At Jack's Beach Bar. So
good, man. Good for you.
Josie and Amber popped in. Amber said, "Was that the night beach photos?" And she said those were my favorites.
Probably.
And then Josie said, "Hey guys, looking good, Elliott."
Thank you.
He's a handsome man.
Again, shout out to Josie.
Yeah. He did shout you out, Josie. This thing is coming undone here. That's all right. All right, we're good. I thought she was on. She's on another podcast right now, Josie. Well, she's not on it.
Oh,
she's in.
gotcha.
She's like
Doing,
but she's there.
She's directing, I guess,
Yeah.
or something like that.
The Generally Speaking podcast.
All right, yeah.
I think they're. I don't know if she live streams. I was bummed out because they're doing theirs tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "What time?" I asked her Josie earlier. I was like, "What time is that?" And it's 6.
Yeah.
So they might be done. I don't know. They might be done already,
Gotcha.
but
yeah, no.
I was gonna jump into their live if they were doing a live, but then I was like, "Wait a minute,
no,
Mr. Elliott."
I think she's with Lena Mariah, which I met at the lobby networking event that they had there, and Maciel, I think she's also going to be on there as well. Again, that was some of the content I got with her, some of my favorite shoots out with her.
Yeah.
And she, her and her friends have been helping me with my Spanish, so I appreciate.
Oh,
y'all.
nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I need some help with that. I don't. Actually, you know what? I'm too lazy
Gotcha,
and too dumb.
Gotcha. Well, I'm half Dominican, but I don't speak.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So yeah, they've been trying to get me back into connecting with my
With your roots.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good,
yeah.
man. Yeah, being bilingual will definitely help in any kind of career.
I just want to be
for sure.
getting comfortable, just being able to talk shit about people. Oh, wait a
Oh,
minute.
is that what it
Am I
is?
allowed to say that?
Yeah, I know. Listen, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, gotcha. I forgot.
I
we on
know all the
YouTube.
bad words.
It's amazing.
You know?
It's amazing that I haven't cussed yet.
Yeah, I know.
Gotcha.
Army guy with his potty mouth over
Yeah,
there.
right.
Wait, is it Navy or no? I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
I was about to reach across it.
Has anything crazy ever happened to you on a shoot? Like crazy?
Fortunately, not yet. Actually, I did a wedding.
Oh, there we go.
And I still have a great relationship with these people, so I'm not gonna say anything like that. It's just my dad. So the photography business that we have, my dad has his own Shoreline Creative, and I have mine, Extra Impact Media. And now, as far as the books are concerned and the taxes and stuff like that, it's all one. But my dad mostly does family events, weddings, that kind of stuff, and I do all the cool stuff. The portraits, cool editorial stuff. But our first, in the beginning stages of doing wedding photography, we did one where the wedding itself was fine. I just think we just could have pushed more for us, the amount of work we did,
Right.
compensation, because by the time everything was done and all the stuff that we spent to make sure we got the wedding right, like I said, it wasn't a bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one that I've got a lot of lessons learned from.
Labor intensive.
Listen, when I tell you, first of all, I was doing gimbal stuff, and I obviously can't demonstrate, and I was in chairs, stuff like that. But that what's that muscle
Please
above your
demonstrate
the
a gimbal.
thighs and stuff like that? Listen, man, I felt like I had been doing in the squat
Squats.
position,
Kegel.
whatever, and I was there for 4 hours straight.
Yeah.
Exhausted,
I bet.
When I realized I'm running out of bottled water, it's so. Like I said, I've not necessarily squared off weddings. I'm just apprehensive of them because of some of them. Before,
I mean, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I do. And I talked to I had this conversation with Russell. He was talking about he had like weddings lined up. He actually shot their wedding.
Yeah.
Well, their reception. I shot the wedding
Yeah,
that
gotcha.
I was in.
Gotcha.
My girlfriend does second shoot for me occasionally when I need her to.
Gotcha.
She's great that way. With most weddings, she does come with me. But yeah,
Listen, if there's anybody who
Can
knows
be
me professionally, I love money. Okay, if there's a shot where there's money,
Who doesn't?
I'm
I mean,
doing
I
it.
don't love it, but we all need it.
Listen, my motivation is how to best monetize my business, because that's
Sure.
what I want to be a business.
Well, that's
But-
important
And there's a lot of money in weddings.
for
But
sure.
sometimes I'd be looking at it as like, you know what, that is for a different person. Which Olivia Morgan Photography. Check her
Nice
out.
looking into the camera. I like that.
You got it. She's great.
No, I mean, for sure, it takes a certain intestinal fortitude to be able to withstand like 9 or 10 hours of straight shooting.
Yeah.
And running around, let's go get the the bride shots. If you don't have a second shooter, you have to do everything.
Right.
You know, you get the changing room shots, which is always weird because we're guys, and if they're in there changing, and there's a bunch of girls in there changing, they don't want us in there.
Right.
Which is why it's awesome to have a female second shooter.
Yeah.
Send them in there. I'm gonna be with the grooms.
I use my mom as my female second shooter.
So it's like, I'm gonna just stop you right there, and I'll apologize for jumping in. It's like in the family. It's all in the family here. Your dad's a photographer. Your mom's a photographer.
Yeah. Well, my mom's she has a camera.
Oh.
No. I'm joking because she's watching this right now. So
I got you.
No. My mom's a photographer. But no, she takes care of the second shoot, which brings up to one of the things we were talking about. Crazy things happened during the shoot. We had a camera that was in the stationary to watch the bridal party and the grooms show up. We didn't realize that where the tripod was when the grooms were coming up, they bumped the tripod, so it was slightly shifted.
Oh, nice.
Slightly shifted from because it was a stationary viewing. It was just a stationary video camera for a wide angle. And so when we came back and looked at the footage, we were like,
completely
"Yo,
off.
you could not, like, the subject was there. We're looking this way, and we couldn't even use that." And then another issue happened where the other one completely just toppled over.
You didn't lose any equipment, did you?
We didn't lose. Nothing was damaged. We're just like, okay, like Murphy's Law is really coming out here.
Yeah.
Now, did we get the shots? That's the thing. When you get back in post, it's like, okay, we're gonna figure out how to make this creative and everything like that.
Yeah,
Client loved it. Excellent. But man, when I was, like I said, when I pulled all them photos, we were all stressed out.
I bet. Yeah, that scenarios that, like, the things that you can't control in those scenarios it can be stressful and taxing.
And that's the thing that stressed me out about weddings, because, like, you can't mess it up.
I mean, you can.
You can, okay, but I'm just saying, like, for example, if I do a studio shoot, I bring some male talent, female talent over and stuff like that. It's like, okay, we do the shoot, boom, boom, boom. Oh, lighting didn't work. Oh, I didn't check. I kept my camera in auto mode the entire time, and everything looks weird.
My lens cap was on.
My lens cap was on. All right, we'll just come back. See you next Thursday or Tuesday or whatever. If you don't get the shot at a wedding, you can't redo the wedding. Oh, I mean, some people do it multiple times, but you can't really redo the wedding. You know?
That's true.
You know?
That is very true. And giving them their money back hurts really bad.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
Yeah.
You guys do contracts and stuff like that, right? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I ask for a lot. After the first 2 weddings I did, I started asking for a lot. I eat as soon as the bride and the groom go up, I'm right behind them.
Okay, so our first wedding, we did not have a meal in the contract and stuff like that. Ever since then, that is 100% in there.
Yeah.
One thing is, again, as you do multiple ones, you start figuring out people don't like you taking photos of them while they're eating. So I was like, okay, so we're just sitting around. We can't take photos during the reception and stuff like that. So we're just, and then you got the bride and groom, well, we're paying y'all, why aren't y'all taking photos? Like, listen, they don't want us to do it, so it's not going to look good. So ever since then, we definitely eat half down up front, bare minimum.
Yeah, for sure.
Not waiting for the others to start the climbing in there. Multiple invoices. I will get your digital signature through a PDF or something like somehow. And the other thing is definitely having more than one meet up with the couple before the shoot.
Right.
The first one we did was we only met them once. And I think if we had multiple times where we got to sit down, talk, convey them, got their vision in, we would have understood their personalities a little bit more, took more meaningful shots and stuff.
Right.
Had more, like, say, certain family members when they were coming in, hugging each other, stuff like that, where those things mattered more to them. But so that's my advice necessarily for weddings. Not that I'll be doing much of them,
Yeah.
I'll leave that to my father and stuff like that. But
unless he calls on you.
Yeah, it's for certain. Which he definitely will. So
for sure. You said something. I got lost in what you just said.
It's all good.
No. So yeah, weddings. Don't like them. Not a fan.
I'm gonna love my own. I've already planned mine out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, listen.
God bless you.
You know that church down on that, not the church, that castle down on A1A.
Sorry, I just remembered what I was going to ask you.
I got you. You want to hold on to it? You want to hold it?
Yeah, I'm holding.
Okay.
I'm good.
That castle that's on A1A. when you're heading
Okay.
down towards St. Augustine.
Yeah.
I want to do it there.
Okay.
I've already planned it out. I'm gonna save my
Nice.
budget for it. Now I just got to find somebody that solid.
That was the question. Was like, do you guys? You were talking about meeting the couples.
Yeah.
You know, do you go to the venue
yeah.
and check the venue?
Yeah, check for the lighting because the first time, we went to their wedding rehearsal, and we were able to check the lighting and stuff like that. And it was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna need this light, we're gonna need
Right.
some things, stuff like that. But then, obviously, it's a lot different when everybody's in there because the angles that you think, place where you think you're gonna be able to stand or sit or whatever, you don't
Right.
have anymore. Other people thinking they're the photographers now, but
Mhm.
other phones and tablets and all that kind of
It's
stuff.
always fun.
Yeah, which now we put in our contract. We are the priority shooters, and people should, when they see us, defer to us. Not that it gets conveyed out there.
No,
but
nobody knows.
Right, but it's in there.
Or do they care?
Yeah. So,
Well, we can move off weddings because it's not very fun. And I mean, it does pay the bills.
it certainly does.
There was a wedding photographer at CoLab last time, and I spoke to him about it. You know, and he did say, he was like, I shoot weddings. I don't really like them, but he said, hey, I do what makes me the money, so
Yeah.
I do what I have to do to make the money,
Yeah.
and so that I can do what I love,
Right.
and not have to worry about it.
Right,
and,
right.
Which is a great philosophy. It really is. And so, I mean, if that's the way you support yourself, then
Yeah.
hey, weddings.
Yep.
But it won't be for me.
These lenses ain't cheap.
They are not
They're
cheap.
not,
They really are not cheap.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what your goals for the future are, but it sounds like, you've got all this. You're shooting for the stars. You and Josie will be right up at the top.
Yeah, listen, my goal. One thing I'm gonna say right now. I want to do a magazine.
Okay.
I say I want to do it. I'll just have it as an accomplishment. Not that it gets popularized or anything like that, but I want to do it because
You want to create your own magazine?
Yeah, create a magazine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, create my own.
I thought you meant just shoot.
Well, no,
for
I want
a
to be. I
magazine.
want to be in a magazine, shoot whatever. But I want to create my own, and just to have that. I'm gonna call it an artifact out there that it was done. People saw it. People got to hold on to it. Listen, I love tech as much as anything else, but I think there's just something there in the classic authenticity of like paper, going
tactile.
through tactile, going through pages, seeing a magazine like a cover girl, cover model, and some editorial text and stuff like that.
Right.
A little bits of advertisements in there. I just want to do something like that. And I kind of have an idea of some visions and stuff like that. How I want to gear it towards developing influencers and stuff like that.
What would you call your magazine? Should you not say it?
No. So
then somebody might steal it.
one of the names I've been working for, it says just manifest, but it's obviously written differently to within my, because I do use a lot of E stuff in my motifs. E for extra impact, essence, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to change it around, but that's a working title. It's not quite done yet. But it's like I said, it's still a work in process. That's one thing. But listen, I would love to get an opportunity to shoot for like sports teams. There's a guy who kind of inspired me to do photography. This Kevin Nguyen. He did my. I was just trying to do Tinder photos and stuff like that, get them all high profile and everything.
Tinder, the dating app.
The dating app,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So back in the day, listen, I was a single guy. I was like, listen, I'm gonna step up my game. Yo, come up and do some portraits for me. And he did stuff, and then I've seen him grow to the photography he is now, where he's doing stuff for the Jaguars, he's doing concerts and stuff like that. And I would love to get on that level.
Yeah.
Just to branch out. I'm trying to be the guy where somebody says, listen, I just saw Extra, I saw Elliott stuff, and it wowed me. It blew my mind. It's inspired me. It's got me to think about stuff. It's got me to visualize or think differently. And that's what I'm going for.
I definitely see you as being the brand. Like you are the brand. And I like that you branded yourself with the E and like your name is cool. It's like, it's not just it could just be this one thing, but it's like a little bit different. But it sets you apart, and and you have a look and a style and an aesthetic that you keep.
Yeah,
and I think that's important because, like for me, I'm just kind of like, road rash. I'm just all over the place, But I think that that's what people need. I think that in this field, it's something I've always fought against because I like shooting all types of things.
Mm-hmm.
I like shooting landscapes.
Yeah.
I like shooting portraits. I like doing all kinds of photography.
Yeah.
But and I've always thought that if I can strengthen myself in each category, I'll be like a really good, like an MMA photographer. You know?
Yeah.
Except not martial arts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's because I. On my main page, people can see I have multiple Instagram accounts that I am 100% public about. Like I have my bougie bites because nobody cares of your food photos unless they're looking for it.
Right.
So I said, listen, I like doing cool stuff with food. I got into social media management for doing management for restaurants, so I had to get really good at doing photography for food photography.
Oh, okay.
And so, but once those clients and contracts eventually ended and everything, I still liked what I was doing, trying to get all moody shots. So that's where the bougie bites things was coming from, because I wanted to go to the high end restaurants of Jacksonville or wherever I was going, and like just doing artistic stuff with their high ticket items. I had an AI art page and stuff like that I was trying to create those editorial. Vogue and Vanity Fair and all that kind of stuff, magazine style shoots with AI and enhancing it with other like live models and stuff like that.
Out?
I'm still up there. I think it's only been up there for like 2 months now. I think I got 100. I think I had 170 followers, 135. It's like I said, it's on there. And then Extra Impact Media. That's the one that I share to my my clients that I'm not trying to be too eccentric with.
Right.
Again, that real estate
that's
firm,
business.
that's business stuff like that, and that's where they can see like the commercials and the branding photos and the family photos and stuff like that done.
Okay.
So I'm still doing everything. And I would tell people, still do what you like, because that keeps you energized and everything. Just understand, this is what I like. This is what pays me.
Right.
Focus on what that pays me. So you can do what you like.
Right.
Because them lenses ain't cheap, bro.
They are not cheap. Some of the lenses are more than the damn camera.
Dude, that 24-70 that I showed you, yeah, like, it hurt.
Is it difficult to keep up with all those pages? I mean, like Russell, not to keep bringing him up, but he's got a bunch of pages if you haven't followed him.
Gotcha.
And to me, it's mind numbing. Like just me having to deal with Facebook, Instagram, and now freaking Threads and Twitter and TikTok. It really blows my mind.
You saw the 2 phones.
I did.
Okay, so that's.
I thought that was for a different reason.
No.
Sorry,
no,
Mom.
No, it's not. No. So, for me again, I like social media. It's second nature to me.
Yeah.
I am the guy who's like, okay, I come home, open up my pages. If you saw my desktop computer, people see my desktop computer plenty of times in my stories. I got my 3 screens and stuff like that.
I saw that.
Right. And I got my social media stuff. I'll write my posts and stuff like that. I kind of got to a point where I got a flow where it's organized. So it's just business as usual. If I miss a day, if I don't do something or I don't create content, I'm going to be all right, because I'm not on such a strenuous deadlines or whatever. But it does help that some of the things I used to do I still do for my clients that do social media management, I kind of do for myself, as I create a content calendar.
Oh.
And then you can queue that up. And so say, let's say I was supposed to post something. Matter of fact, the post that I did with the my cameras,
okay,
that I posted up there, I just wanted something to be up on my page, and it was already in my calendar, and I already had it ready, so I just posted it up there.
Okay, so you're scheduling these posts.
Some of these out there and stuff like that. Just again, keep the engagement there, keep eyes on the page, stuff like that. And that's why I'm not also under that stress, like, oh my God, did I post something for the week? Oh, well, I've already had these done weeks in advance. Okay, boom, it's done. Caption's already written out. Good to go.
So you're like a marketing manager's like dream.
Well,
they love you.
It helps. Again, that's another way to get residual income and pay the bills.
Right.
Do contracts with them and stuff like that. Do the content many weeks in advance. Have it queued up and ready. You can do some I call the A, B, and C plans. Like, so if A marketing strategy didn't work, then do B, then do C, or something like that.
Right.
But it like I said, if you're just focusing on I just want to take photos of like pretty guys or pretty girls, you're going to be poor. Well, unless you're really, really good at it.
Yeah.
If
or
you
have a second job.
Have a second job, right. I think, which I found out through these networking events, a lot of us do.
A lot of photographers do.
Yeah,
I mean, I've had a second job, and I alluded to I'm not where I'm here, but I'm where I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out what I want to do at 46 years old.
Gotcha.
I know I'm good with photography. I know I'm good with this type of stuff, and I'm slowly leaning into this.
Yeah.
This is the area of the field that I want to be in.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop shooting photography. I'm not going to stop taking jobs.
Yeah.
However, this is what I love. This has become my passion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean,
well, that's the thing. So somebody, and build on that, is that again, to help people, is like a guy told me, and I hate that I can't not remember his name, but he said if you're just getting a camera to take pictures of models and stuff like that, again, you'll be poor. But if you can get that model to hold a Corona, that's where you'll
get your little brand
your
shot.
brand, stuff like that. And the point of it, not just saying that, but to think of ways how to if you got into photography for one reason, excellent, but figuring out ways you can use your camera to diversify into many other things that can get you to do stuff, and you might end up liking it. I love product photography and branding shoots and stuff like that. I like coming up with people will look at a Pantene Pro V or an aloe vera or whatever kind of commercial, stuff like that, and just not even think about it. When I see them, I'm thinking, okay, they had the rainwater drizzling from the little sprinkler. They have the and
try
I like
to break it down.
Right.
They actually had to do.
And I geek out about that process. And I think it's good when people see it and they're not even thinking about it. They're just so absorbed with the product that was just advertised. And I think I've accomplished my job in doing that. So that stuff, people can get into that. Find brands to shoot for.
You see like styles happening and things happening, and then you try to mimic it. You just try to recreate that.
So yes, recreate. I think people should understand the process, but not try to recreate the result.
Okay.
Because I don't know how often you're on TikTok, but there's a lot of sameness. There's a lot of sameness on TikTok.
Oh, sure.
The same sounds, the same, because that's people want a trend. And I don't fault people for trending. I have 100% been guilty of it. But what gets people to blow up, truthfully, I think it is that uniqueness, to be the first person to do so. And so you can look at a shoot, or you can look at a concept and say, okay, I see the process of why they did it, but I still need to make it myself. And people need to see this, like, okay, that was Elliott, or that was Jim, or so.
Right.
Gotcha.
No, that's 100%. Like, standing out and being unique. And it's almost like, I mean, do you think that we can do that as photographers in this day and age? And I say that knowing that we can, but I know it's very difficult because everybody has a camera. Everybody wants to create content. Everybody wants to get creative with their photos, their videos, and things of that nature, whether they're shooting on a phone or a mirrorless or a red.
Yes. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
My favorite reels, my favorite videos are the ones without the effects, without the crazy transitions, without the stuff.
So you hate my reels?
No, don't hate your reels, stuff like that. And I'll put it this way: my favorite ones are the ones without the canned effects. Okay. The ones where you can see, you use CapCut for that one.
Of course,
I
use CapCut 100%.
Listen. I did a wedding. Not a full wedding video, but the like the preview videos that we sent to the clients, like, hey, this is where we are and stuff like that. I did that in CapCut. You can do a lot of cool stuff in CapCut, especially CapCut Pro and the desktop app and everything like that. I still trying to justify the purchase of Premiere and After Effects, so I'm going to master it as best as I can.
Yeah.
But you can do good stuff in CapCut. But my favorite reels are the ones that you can TikTok short form, or even kind of video, the ones where you can see, okay, that wasn't the fade out multiple shadow clone filter. That person used either they did something cool in camera, or they did something maybe in the post-production After Effects or whatever, that
took real skill
to
make
skill
it
to
happen.
understand, and that's what stands out. Because you'll have all these effects that will try to replicate or they'll make it quick, and I'm so glad that we have the accessibility
To do that,
to do
yeah.
stuff like that. But I would encourage people to actually focus, learn something, or just figure out some cool stuff to do in camera.
Yeah, I mean, you can get like a cool spinning gimbal shot
Yeah.
using CapCut.
Right,
You,
right.
you don't even have to know how to use a gimbal.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
man.
it'll look definitely different when you use it, like when you actually use a gimbal
Sure.
or using hand. One of the coolest tricks that I found out organically is that if you just people taking selfies and just turning the phone upside down, and getting your telephoto lens to make the person look a little bit longer and everything like that. And people's like, oh man, the pictures you took of me look so much better than when my girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, does and stuff like that. Well, yeah, because I know I know that. Know what I'm doing. And
it does I mean, which is not to get back on phones and camera phones.
yeah, it's all
and
good.
stuff, but
Gotcha.
taking a really good photo with your phone does take some skill.
Yeah.
Like there are tricks.
And and I'm glad that phones have pro modes now, because people will look into it and they'll see, oh my God, this is so crazy. Oh man, this is scary and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it is scary. And I'm not trying to gatekeep or anything like
Right.
that, but it's like, yeah, people have to take time to figure this out, to do the cool shots that an algorithm is trying to get it. And they get it right, really, for 90% of the time they get it right. But then people like you and I will see it and it's like, but if you just had done this,
Yeah.
it would have stepped. And now, instead of your pictures looking like just everybody else's that are taken with their phone, now you're Mr. and Mrs. Me Too.
Yeah.
And I would love to encourage people to figure out, understand their tools, whether it's their phone, their camera, so they're not Mr. and Mrs. Me Too.
Right. Well, you got to be careful with that. It's a whole hashtag, man.
Right.
Do you
Right. I'm sorry. I realized that. I respect women. I respect
we know
people.
you do, and every woman that you know knows that.
Gotcha.
Do you spend a lot of time like looking at other accounts and things of that nature?
Yeah. I like commenting on people's stuff and engaging with them and
Yeah.
everything like that. But no, I look at stuff. My phone, my Instagram save thing is loaded with so much inspirations or whatever.
Right.
Some things that I've like said, okay, I don't have a model today because I saw this cool thing and it's 2:30 in the morning or whatever. But let me try with that. Like, I did the one thing where I put my phone on my ceiling fan and tried to do like a little because I was inspired by the Bad Boys. When Michael Bay does that spinning camera shot, stuff like that. I was like, okay, well, can I do it from the top or whatever? Like, yeah. So
you didn't hit yourself in the face.
No,
did you?
my
Okay.
phone did not go flying everywhere. But when I finally looked at the results, like, okay, this didn't work out or whatever. But
Yeah.
I look for stuff. But that makes me come up with all kinds of things or whatever. Or I will find something, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet.
Right.
I think Josie brought up where I brought a whiskey bottle to our shoot.
Yeah, she did.
I knew I wanted to do something with it.
Okay.
Wasn't they were going to look like they were pouring it, holding their head, throwing it. I thought it was when I finally got to the time of shoot, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have them look lazily, but pour like it was going to be water, or whatever, but pour it just like on the ground, like kind of like a dismissal of like just something attitude-ish, right? And then she's like, wait a minute, hold on a second. And then she got our model Demi, great person, and she did this like pose where it was on her boot, and I was like, that's stuff like that spontaneous.
She definitely has an eye.
Right. But that spontaneous creativity where you, like I said, I will look for stuff, inspired by whether things I'm looking on Instagram or just things around my house, and I'll bring it there. And now once I'm in that creative environment, then we can put it together.
Right.
And so that's what helps. Especially when you got a team, people that can able to do things for you.
Sure.
I've
always been the type of person that like I tried to have a team for a short period of time.
Yeah.
And I quickly decided after that I don't really know if I wanted to have a team.
Right.
I don't, I'm very much so now a loner. You know, it's kind of scary for me to like take someone on and be like, or to hire someone or
Right,
whatever it is, and say, you know, I definitely know that when I'm ready to make that next step, I'll find Josie and I'll say, come on, you need to help me.
Yeah, yeah.
But until then, I'm having fun and I'm doing what I'm doing. But I try to stay a loner. I'm a silo man.
So I love having people to work with, team members, stuff like that. Jalen Hall has been exceptional as far as getting like behind the scenes or just somebody to work with in general. So like I said, we're obviously both freelancers. It's definitely I would say he's definitely my teammate in this. But the team that I would build, I don't mind hyping people up. I don't mind giving people their due. But the team that I would build, and it's going to sound crazy, but have to understand that when it comes to my projects, I'm the center of attention.
Oh.
And so that team needs to make sure that we're articulating the vision that I set forth to do.
I don't think that sounds bad. I think you have a grasp on what needs to happen so that you can elevate yourself, and thusly you're elevating the team.
Right. So like, and that because of that, there's only certain people that I will bring on to projects and stuff like that. Again, we say her name many times. Josie is somebody I always bring to a project because she knows if she hears a role, she knows where it is, but she does not try to outshine the role that, you know, say that she was given and stuff like that. Now, obviously, she'll use that work to show, hey, this is what I'm capable of doing and stuff like that. But then not necessarily there's people who try to insert themselves too much into what I came to do.
Yeah, she plays to her strengths, you play to your strengths, we're just it meshes right.
But I have worked with photographers who may have agreed to do this shoot together, but I guess in their mind they decided this is their shoot, and I won't work with those folks, you know, in particular or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's just nature of business. You know, some people you mesh well with, and then I'm not disrespecting them or anything like that.
Right.
But I just understand. Okay, these are the lanes that we're going to be operating in, and it just happens on this highway. We're just going different directions.
Yeah, especially if you set up a shoot and you invite other people and they just kind of take over.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of.
Especially when I set a shoot,
okay.
I always front all the studio time if we're doing it in the studio. That's just me. I bring, you know, little donuts. Well, I don't bring donuts too much because people may feel, oh no, I ate a donut, I'm bloated, whatever.
I have not had a donut in probably 8 months.
Sir, we need to. I'm
working on keto, man. Trying to get to that keto level, you know, that high tier keto.
Oh man,
I'm still. I got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Which, if you know anything about keto, it doesn't work like that.
Gotcha. See,
I just cut out carbs basically as much as possible, and trust me, baked goods. My mouth is watering right now. So, I mean, if anybody's out there that's a baker or anything, you know, you want to bake me stuff, I'll take it.
Gotcha.
I might not eat it.
No, I'm trying to. I would say take less sugar in my intake and stuff like that. One, because I've saved up. I had a lot of, like, you know, medical and dental work and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, listen, I'm trying to be transparent. I got like implants way in the back here and stuff like that. So those were not cheap. And they were like, okay, cool, you know, so I don't want to have to go through that experience again. I was like, all right, maybe having Mountain Dew for breakfast isn't the best way to take care of yourself. But it's also like, man, I will never say no to a Dunkin' Donuts strawberry icing with sprinkles donut. I will never say no to that one. There could be a shady van where it says, hey, free strawberry sprinkles donuts, stuff like that. It's like, oh no, do not get in that van. I was like, but it's there.
Yeah, I've always had real bad impulse control, so I'm working on it. That's one of my things. I'm like trying to work on my impulse control for everything.
Word.
Yeah, not limited to one thing.
Gotcha.
I was going to ask you about the types of struggles you've had in the field, but I mean, we kind of covered that with some of the wedding stuff.
Yeah, the wedding stuff, and then
what other types of you know, you find any barriers, or do you find any you know, any walls going up in your life for in the field of photography, what have you?
Other photographers, and this is not speaking on the community that we're a part of or anything like that, but there are some who will try to gatekeep.
Okay.
And I've ran into those, and I figured out, rather than trying to push into or fight my way into whatever world and niche or people they're trying to hold on to, just find my find my own clients, find my own stuff and everything like that. So ran to a lot of that. There are, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate this very, very tactfully.
You don't have to be tactful.
No, let's no.
We
Okay.
could totally just lay it on the line,
No,
man.
no.
Throw it on the table.
There are some other photographer talent or whatever that want to do everything they can to dominate a certain model's time, energy, and stuff like that for whatever reason that may be. Maybe they just feel like they work better with them. Maybe they have some other motives and stuff like that. But on the outside, I have seen that, and I'm like, okay, homie, like, one, that model, she's not gonna come home with you. Okay,
Yeah.
Stop that. Two, and this is both male and female and everything like that. But also just like, okay, fine. You know what? I'm not gonna get involved in that. I'm not gonna try to, again, intercede or force myself into that space.
Right.
There's plenty of other pretty people. There are plenty of let me rephrase. It's not about being pretty or whatever. There are plenty of other people who I think can fit the vision that I want to actualize.
Much better.
That I don't need. Right. That I don't need to go and just insert myself to. I need to work with this person.
Right.
Stuff like
right.
that. Those are some of the challenges that I've seen and stuff like that. Like I said, there's I've gone to, like I said, those entrepreneurial events.
Right.
I've ran to other photographers, stuff like that, and we'll be chatting up. It's like, okay, cool. And listen, I'm in comparison to a lot of other people, I'm newer to this. I've been doing it on and off sporadically and whatever for a while, but as far as like making this like this is where I want to be, I'm newer in comparison to them. And I'm trying to figure out, are you talking down to me?
Right.
Or are you trying to mentor me in a certain way? And maybe it's a bit of both.
Could be.
But there's that, and me trying to figure you out and stuff like that. Or like, hey, man, you said, I reached out to somebody, hey, I appreciate the meeting. You said I could come out and see you on this event to shoot or stuff like that. And I know I'm being left undelivered. I know I'm being left on, like, and I'm like, again, that probably brings back to the whole gatekeeping space and stuff like that. But hey, listen, what I would say that let's speak on Jacksonville alone. There's more than 1 million plus people who, and you got your camera. There's plenty of people to take photos of. There's plenty of work around here. Now, if you're trying to, I want to do photography for the Jaguars. Yeah, there's only probably going to be a certain amount of people, maximum amount of people that are going to be there for that. Or, you know, if you're trying to, you know, be on like the mayor's, photography, on-site photography team, yeah, there's probably only limited spots for that.
Sure. And you have to have, I'm sure, some sort of
security clearance and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Although, listen, I did photography for the Val Demings campaign,
Oh,
a while
nice.
back and stuff like that, and the not much vetting that happened
Really?
there and stuff like that. I mean, you go through basic stuff and everything like that.
Maybe
Background
they're
check.
trying to say something.
No,
to that guy,
no,
no. Go ahead.
Right. They
What's
make-
that in your back pocket? Don't worry about it. Just go on in
they
there.
make you go through background checks and stuff like that and everything like that. But it wasn't like I had to get like had an interview with like an FBI agent or something like that. But no, but that it's stuff like that. So and I've got that gig literally just going to their event and everything like that and asking, can I speak to who's on the press team?
Access is all about who you ask. And
Right.
And not only who, but just asking the question in the first place.
Right. I just say, hey, who's on the press team and stuff like that? Hey, can I speak with all? I end up only doing 2 events,
Right.
like stuff like that. I wasn't like traveling and around there, but that got my name out. That got me some pictures and stuff like that. I got some great stuff to showcase, and it worked out.
That's good stuff.
So
How long are we at? What time are we at there, Patty?
Hour and 23.
Oh, wow.
oh, dang,
That's good, man.
We hit that hit
It went
our
quick,
curfew.
didn't it?
We hit our curfew.
No, pretty close. Pretty
Gotcha,
close.
gotcha.
The last thing I'll ask, what piece of advice? And I think I'm going to start adapting this question into the last portion of the show
gotcha.
for everybody that's coming on. But what piece of advice would you give to a younger or just a newer photographer coming into this world?
Gotcha. Buy Canon.
Let's get real.
Right. Canon sponsor us, please.
Look, man, I can't even get sponsored by Collab.
Right. No, okay, no. To advice to a new photographer and stuff like that. Shoot. Find your like. If it's issue about buying the equipment and stuff like that, you can do great stuff on. I've seen people do great stuff on that. Was the Walmart camera, the Rebel, the
He's called it the Walmart camera.
Because I always see it in the. I always see it in Walmart.
It is sold in Walmart, but the Canon, it's a Canon Rebel T6 or T7i.
Right, whatever. Yeah, so you can do great stuff with that.
Those are great beginner cameras.
Right. Shoot, they will. If you looked, your friends will. They may not think it's great. Continue doing it. Practice. Not everything you have to do has to be up on Instagram. You can just do some shots, look at them, compare, contrast, experiment with a bunch of stuff, and have fun with it. Bring your friends out. Bring your parents. Bring family members. If you don't have any of that, just do some free stuff for them. It's like, hey, listen, I just want to practice my camera a little bit. Try this out. I literally went to bars, like wine bar and stuff like that, and say, hey, listen, I just want to practice with this new lens I got with y'all mind, stuff like that, and I'll buy y'all some drinks.
Wow.
They were happy to do it. You're taking pictures of other people. You're taking pictures of items and stuff like that. Get in the habit of doing it. And the best thing is look back at how far you've come. If y'all have seen where I started, and you see where I'm at now.
I've deleted a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they are miles apart, and just get fun with doing that. Like I said, do cool stuff with your camera, learn it, and then as you start saving up or getting gigs and stuff like that, then take steps up into like different lenses or bodies or lighting effects. I'm gonna wrap it up, but now, granted, don't get so fixated on, oh man, my shot's not gonna look good with a strobe light, because keep in mind, we've been doing great stuff with natural light, since the time of the
very true,
what was the old school cameras with the dust and the flash stuff. Yeah. So listen, we've been doing
the
great.
Daguerreotype.
Right. So don't get fixated with that. I was fortunate. I think I've told you personally the story that I had the advantage of a company.
You did. Yeah.
I'm scared to say that in case they're watching this. And
no, nobody watches this.
But a company helped me, start off before they let us go, and then nepotism is real. So my dad also helped me out because he was, a photographer and everything like that. So I had the advantage of the initial barrier of entry for equipment. I didn't have to go through that.
That's fantastic.
But as everybody's known, I was doing $1,000 camera work, stuff like that, and taking photos that looked no better than a Kodak, films like disposable camera.
Right.
Once I got more intimate and learned what I was shooting with,
right,
that's when my photography transformed. Now, granted, all that camera equipment that I bought, I'm not throwing it away just yet.
No.
But
maybe sell it.
Maybe sell it, so get that stuff back. Yeah, definitely.
No, that's great, man. I'm really excited to see what happens for you, and hopefully I'm still hanging around, and
you'll be here.
Still kicking up there at the Collab and hanging out with everybody.
Listen, it's not an event unless I come out and say hi to you, stuff like that. I see you, be like, yo, Jim, what's good?
That's
what I mean?
Good, man. I appreciate it. It's just, and I spoke about this last time, and I give Collab the most airplay ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I talk about them on every dang podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay because they're great people.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't mind doing it. But yes, I am not sponsored by Collab. So this is just me being friendly and loving. But everybody there is so friendly and loving, and it's crazy, I am very keep to myself-ish. I hate using the word introverted, but I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to go out a lot, but after that first time that I went out, I just decided that I'd be at every event that I could possibly go to, because the people that I've met there, the people that run the place, everybody's just like ridiculously nice, and they genuinely want you to succeed. It's the strangest thing I've ever come across. I mean, my family, all these guys, they want me to succeed. They want to see you succeed, but it's something different when you have, that's like home base, they're cheering for you. But when you have people that are from another planet. Might as well be.
Yeah.
And they're cheering you on. It's just
Because I've been to plenty of other photographer meetups and networking events and stuff like that. There's plenty of studios that are closer to me from where I live, in Jacksonville and stuff like that. But I will still cross all lanes of traffic in Jacksonville to show up to this one because they create an environment that I definitely feel like I'm most accepted at. And I don't want to emphasize I don't want to use the word welcomed, but definitely accepted at.
Right.
Because plenty of studios welcome you to show up.
Sure.
Get the bodies in there. Take the photos. Hey, our studios are blowing up or whatever. Not many, and this props to Collab, are invested in making sure that you are succeeding or giving you options to do so.
Yeah.
So props to them for that.
100%, man. And props to you. I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And driving all the way over what do they call it? Driving over the ditch?
The ditch, yes.
That's the weirdest thing ever. The ditch to me is like from here to England. That's the ditch.
right.
You guys stepped over a creek.
Yeah, no.
We're in Florida. This is the South. It's a creek. It's not a ditch.
It was most certainly worth the drive.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad hopefully you had fun.
I did.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. And I'll be looking forward to seeing what comes from you, Mr. Elliott Warner.
You got it.
Let me just emphasize the Warner because it's a whole mess.
Gotcha.
It's personal story. Give your socials real quick. I know it's E4 Extra.
Yes. So
it's E.4 Extra.
No.
You do it.
It's simple. It's E4 Extra. So you just E the number 4, then extra. Y'all should be able to spell that if y'all went to public school, and private school would be too if you did that. My very clean portfolio page is extra.impact that's the short for Extra Impact Media. If you guys actually care about the experimental stuff that I've been doing with food, I have this thing called Bougie Bites. I'm trying to remember how I spell bougie because there's all kinds of ways you could spell that. Bougeeebitez, because I had to be cool with it.
Right.
And my theme with that project is if the bill is less than $100, it's not worth shooting. So I try to find some of the most expensive items, things on the menu and stuff like that I do.
Invite me to be your second shooter.
Listen, I bring out friends and stuff like that. Yeah. And so we try to try out some of the high end items and around, at least in the Jacksonville area, wherever I decide to travel to.
Nice.
And then my still experimental, but my AI art page where I try to create concepts for models and studio photography is art.not.artificial. Art not artificial. So,
and all of his, I'm gonna have him write it down.
Right.
All of his links will be in the description down here. That's it. Thanks, Patrick, for doing all the camera work. Appreciate that.
Well,
appreciate you having me out here, Jim.
No problem, man.
Thank you, buddy. All righty.
I look forward to seeing you at one of the next collab events. For sure.
Or maybe on another podcast.
Heck yeah, man.
Like
like I said, you come back anytime.
All right.
Anytime.
You got it.
we might maybe do some stuff at collab.
Okay.
I don't know. That's for another time. Topic for another time.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. See you in the next one. Bye.